Welcome, you have reached review time with Imperial, and today's review is Power Book 2 Ghost Season 4, Episode 4. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, let's get into it. So this was a good episode, but it pissed me off one of the moments, and I keep saying this about Tariq, but let's get through the episode. When I get to that point, we'll discuss it. So the episode picks up with, of course, Tariq on a rampage, looking for Diana after he done seen the footage, and appears Monet and Kane, and pretty much Monet is pretty much asking Tariq, well, that's why he came and shot at her, because she thought he was trying to kill his mom. He was like, nah. He's throwing it on Diana and Drew. Kane jumped in the middle, of course, and Kane said, I don't trust Tariq, but he's right. Kane and Drew and Diana gotta go. Now, this is the part that I keep not liking, is that they always make Tariq like he's surrendering to Monet or Kane, like he's scared of them, and always like he's outwitting them and thinking and stuff like that. But like, he's a stone cold killer. It's no way that they have his character still like kowtowing to them. So nevertheless, that scene happened. The very next scene, Effie and Tariq was talking, and Tariq was talking to Effie, and pretty much he's still pissed that the Tejada snaked them. She's telling him, like, why are you surprised that they snaked you? You can't trust nobody in this game, and you should know that of all people, because you couldn't even trust me. So if you can't trust me in this game, what makes you think that you could trust them? So the actress that played Effie, and she made a comment. She didn't like how her character went this season. So it makes you believe, like, is Effie gonna end up dying? I don't think Effie's gonna die. I think it's more to her character. So I think she's just gonna fade off. You're not gonna see much of Effie. I think she's gonna get into that program, and she's gonna just dip off, and they'll be able to use her at a later spin-off season somewhere. So nevertheless, it goes to Drew and Diana. Now, as much as they've been street, Monet has kept them all underneath their wing, with the exception of Kane. So they have no liquid. So they only thing they have is credit cards, which is underneath Monet's name. So they go into a motel, and Drew's instantly say, I hope you paid in cash. She says no. So when she says no, Drew said, well, Monet gonna know where we at. So of course, while they're at the motel, Monet shows up to the motel, questions the person at the front, asking them who she looking for her kids, under the name Tejada. He pretty much told her to F off. Okay, Monet, the big bad wolf, totally unbelievable, but she beats the associates at the front, pistol whips him. He gives her the room information. As Drew and Diana was ready to leave, Monet shows up at the door with the gun pulled. I don't know where Kane at this moment, but nevertheless, she got the gun pulled, and Drew just start going off. Like, pretty much, he tells her about himself. Like, he ready to take the bullet. He tells her about how much she been a bad mom, how Zeke was supposed to be their cousin, but it was their brother, and he just ran it down, how they killed her dad, Gordo. So he just basically told her she wasn't a good mom, she just a B. And so she cocked the gun, and while she was focused on Drew, Diana pushed Monet out the way. She fell on the bed, and they ran out, jumped in the car. Meanwhile, Kane came out of nowhere. Mom, are you okay? and he shot at the car. So that's the scene y'all see, the trailer, him shooting at the car. Then it goes back to the police station, and so you got Kamal Tate running to Detective Carter, pretty much running down. He got some information from Zion's henchman that pretty much, hey, we got some information, some intel that Zion is the dealer. I mean, he's the supplier rather, and Carter's like, oh, that's good information, but I want to focus on Monet and Tariq. And so Tate like, nah, I think we should really follow this Zion guy. So Carter's pretty much like, nah, we need to focus on focus on Monet and Tariq. So Carter jumped in a mode and pretty much said, hey, you know, he told a story about a friend he had, was a best friend when he was little, and his mom loved him. But then one day, while the friend was over, the friend just got up and didn't ask. He just went up and got a soda, and the mom went off, kicked him out of the house. Pretty much he told Tate, like, listen, this when you get your own task force, you run it the way you want to run it. I'm going to run mine the way I want to run it. Now, we already seen Carter with some sketchy acts. I believe that it's looking like Zion and Carter got a connection. We're going to find out that because Carter got some dirtiness to him. That's why he's trying to keep the focus on Monet and Tariq. So Kamal Tate just pretty much took that on the chin. So Drew and Diana fell asleep in the car, and Drew pretty much said, listen, we got to split up. Diana like, no, we don't need to split up. So he telling them they need some money and they need guns and stuff like that. So is there any way she could go? So she thought to go to Celine crib. And so Celine welcomed her in. She cried to Celine, told him he was right, and when he embraced her in. So it goes from there. It goes to school. Tariq is still looking for Diana. He runs into one of the store associates, and which is actually Diddy's son, Justin. They keep showing him with cameos on this episode. So regardless of the Diddy and 50 Cent beef, 50 Cent don't let it go to the kids. He still let Diddy kids play on his show. So it ain't real live beef. I guess they keep it between them, but they don't go where the kids or whatever. So from here you have Tariq and Braden talking and going back and forth. Tariq is on a mission to get Diana, and Braden is pretty much like, we trying to get in the game, we trying to get our business started, or should you be focused on revenge right now? So Tariq is like, well, you need to just handle that and get the operation up and running. So then it goes to Monet and Kane talking, and so Monet is rambling through the house, pissed. Of course, Mary J, she looking fly. They always got Mary J looking fly. And so she runs into Janet, that's at the house, her caretaker / relative, and she tells her off about herself, basically saying, I don't get in your business, but you don't even know some things that's going on. She said Detective Carter is downstairs. So Carter's in her house pretty much telling her, like, what's her business with Tariq. She's like, I ain't got no business with Tariq. And he pretty much said it's a person that fits Tariq's description that was at the scene when you was shot. And so he said, are you surprised? And she said, do I look surprised? And so she pretty much said ain't no dealings with Tariq, and pretty much told him get to going. So from there you have Noma and Davis meeting up. Noma and Davis is talking business because Davis has information that can help Noma with her business coming to the States. So Davis gave her some information about this event that she could go meet a certain person, political person that she could get ties in, because she was talking about Councilman Tate, well, Senator Tate, but he told her somebody else, and pretty much said his number 2 is a guy that's from the streets that you need he could sniff your BS from a mile away. So she instantly thought she can bring in Kane because that's going to be more relatable to this guy. So this is where it shows Kane is going to evolve into a better version of himself and become more of a man. And what I believe in the end, Kane is going to end up in a spin-off somewhere. I just see his character. There's no way that you kill his character off. Out of Tejadas, he's the most popular character in my opinion. And next to Monet, but I think Monet is going to end up in jail. They're going to get her on a RICO or something. Nevertheless, back to Davis and Noma. Davis was trying to be her +1, and she said I already got somebody in mind, so of course it was Kane. So Kane is still looking for Drew, and Drew went to one of the places that he keep something at, and when he gets there, well, before he got there, he dropped Diana off with Celine, and Pinky has been telling Celine's house and sees Diana pull up. So I don't know, maybe somebody can explain to me in the comments, where the heck did Pinky come from? Because I don't never remember her in none of the other seasons, but she's like Tariq's eyes on the street or whatever, because she blends in, nobody's gonna be looking at her like that. So Drew goes to his place that he has something stashed away at, and of course Kane already knows where that spot is. Kane approaches Drew. So Drew and Kane have a back and forth, have a dialogue. Pretty much Drew is not really remorseful for what he did with Monet. Kane is hurt because this is his brother, but Drew is like, man, look what, like, how did you mourn over our dad? He said, well, basically you didn't know what I felt when our dad died or whatever. And he was like, Kane started crying because he pretty much was saying he was hurt, that he was like, he can't go to an Ivy League school like Diana, he's not Picasso like him, the streets is all he got. But yet Lorenzo was willing to put Drew in charge of everything, and that hurt him. He just wanted to show that he could carry the family and show that he could meet the needs of the family and everything like that. So nevertheless, Drew rushed him, they tussled, and again the gun fell. And so Drew picked the gun up, held it at Kane, pretty much told Kane told him that you better pull the trigger because I'm never going to stop coming after you until I kill you. And so Drew just screamed like, and then ran off. After he ran off, he told his goons pretty much, hey, listen, everybody, if you get eyes on Drew, let me know. So then Braden is with the lead singer or that group, and of course she's a cokehead. Now Braden is sniffing the Kane too, so it's gonna eventually come to a head, and he pretty much saying we're gonna run the business through your little parties. And she was like, basically, well, what I get out of it? And she said, I just want a little product off the top. And he pretty much said, well, Tariq ain't gonna like that. And she pretty much said, well, Tariq don't have to know. So okay, that's part of the secrets. Braden keeping secret and Tariq keeping secrets, so we'll see how that play out. And so then Tariq is still at the school, and Detective Tate comes questioning him like Carter went to question Monet, and pretty much told Tariq that if it's a guy that fits the description at the scene of Monet's shooting. And he said, if you told Monet that, you pretty much put a target on my back. And pretty much he said, well, if you are concerned, you could, come in. And pretty much so Monet sent Tariq a text pretty much saying that Detective Carter showed up and said that Tariq lied to him. And so now he looking like, okay, he was at the scene. Meanwhile, Monet's back at the house with Janet and telling her about herself, and Janet pretty much said, "You ain't even seeing what's going on in your own household. You pretty much don't even see that your daughter's pregnant." She's like, "What? How you know?" She said, "Cause my eyes to see." So it goes back to Celine. Celine pretty much is, googly eyed over Diana and wants to help her out. Pretty much said, "My family's up in Connecticut. They got a house. They're gonna be at Cancun for like a month. You can stay there. Just leave the keys there. Take care of yourself." So he, being thorough with her, she pretty much told him, "Don't tell nobody." Meanwhile, Noma and Kane showed up to the event. Kane does his thing. He befriends the guy, the number 2 of the councilman, and while Noma makes her way to the politician. And so Kane gets a text pretty much saying they got eyes on Drew. He's at the stash house. Kane leaves on his own mission. So he talks to the guy, but then he just leaves him hanging because he on a mission to get Drew. So from there, Celine answers the door for Tariq, looking for Diana. Tariq pulls a gun out on him, pretty much asking him for the information. And then after he gave Tariq the information, Celine rushed Tariq. Tariq and Celine start struggling, and then Tariq shot him. So it looked like Tariq, the way he was holding it looked like he was shot in the chest. Shot in the chest, and he slid down, but the gunshot looked like it only went on the shoulder. So we're gonna see if Celine died or whatever, but it wasn't really intentional. But Celine did rush Tariq while he had a gun. So after that, you shows Drew talking to Diana. Diana pretty much told Drew where she was at. Drew said, "I gotta get her some money first, though." So yeah, so he I thought he shot in the shoulder. So he pretty much, Celine was shot in the chest or the lower stomach, however you want to call it. So it was a flashback. Monet and Drew, when Drew was probably like 12 to 14, somewhere around there, she had him running runs with her to he never really wanted. He had like a school event. She got him running drug runs with her, and pretty much the guy didn't respect Monet because she was a female. He rushed Monet and took the gun from Monet, and the gun fell. Drew picked the gun up, said, "Get off my mom." Shot the dude, killed him, and of course Monet is just looking at him like, "Yeah, that's what you do. You always take care of the family." So she had Drew killing that young. And so that makes Monet feel like, yo, I really effed up. So it goes to the scene where Drew at this stash house getting money from the family. Kane shows up, see Drew's getting money, and so he has the gun placed at Drew. Monet calls Kane, tell Kane pretty much like, "That's your brother, let him go, stand down." So she gives Drew she tells Kane to give Drew the phone. Monet pretty much said, "Where's Diana?" And he said, "I can't tell you that." She said, "Well, I'm not trying to kill her, I'm trying to save her, because Tariq's after her." And he said, "I'm going to text you the address." And so after he got off the phone, Drew pretty much told Kane, like, "Listen, for the last 24 hours, you've been running like a dog, to serve her. And you got your chance to kill me, you still won't do it because of her." Pretty much told Kane he's a mama's boy. We've seen the trailers for that as well. So after that, Drew rushed Kane, and this time Kane whooped Drew, and he beat him up real bad, stood over top. We've seen the trailers of Kane sitting over top of somebody punching him, and that was Drew. And then Kane pretty much told him, "I can't kill you, but you did to me. So I'll need you to get your stuff out of the condo ASAP." So After Kane whooped him, it showed Diana and Tariq breaking in Salim's house, pushing up on Diana with the gun. She tried to run, and after she put a gun on her, she said, "Tariq, you can't kill me." And then Monet popped up and pretty much said, "You can't kill her because she's pregnant." And she said, "What that got to do with me?" And she's pretty much said, Diana said, "I'm pregnant with your baby." So Monet pretty much said, "Let's, call a truce, spare Diana, and I'll spare you, and Kane will spare you too." See, now that's the part I don't like. That's another part, the frustration that Tariq is a stone cold killer, and it keeps showing him scared of Monet, like he reasoning with them, like he's a stone cold killer too. Like it ain't no reasoning with Monet and Kane, like they above him. Like he's scared of them after he killing all these people with no hesitation. That they got to change that in the writing. That's not realistic right there. And of course, it's all a show, but we watch these shows so we can critique it how we want to. That's just not realistic. You got a stone cold killer. He's not going to be afraid of other killers. If Tariq killed people at will. So why would he be afraid and hesitate to kill them? So that they got to fix that or whatever. But this is the last season, so it is. That's just my peeve. Nevertheless, after that, he said that Tariq put his gun down and he just ran off. Then it showed Kane show back up at Noma's house, telling Noma pretty much he's not a mama's boy. He's not her boy either. He's his own man. And then Noma embraced him, kissed him, pretty much showing that this is going to be the evolution of Kane. This is why I definitely see a spinoff. I also think Kane, once he learned everything from Noma, he going to kill her too. Drew would show Drew packing his stuff out of the condo and looking off in the city. So Drew gonna get some inspiration and want to be the man as well. Then it showed Tariq showing up to the party. The party is popping, and then it shows Braden giving a breakdown of how everything is moving. So they selling drugs through the T-shirts, putting the drugs in the T-shirt tags. Also putting the drugs in, like the canister bottles that people drinking. They got a little compartment in there with the drugs, and as the drugs, they got just like Course Correct, they got some type of app with the scan and everything like that. So Braden put that all together, so he's good with all that. We'll see how long that lasts with the parties. So Braden is smoking weed, and pretty much Tariq said, "Let me get that." Basically, what I found out, information's over. Tariq started hitting the weed and looking off, and then Braden looked like, "What? Tariq, you drinking and smoking?" And so when Tariq was at the bar, Gary get a drink, he looks off down at the bar. He see Anya Covington, which is Noma's daughter, and he's seen that's his way in. So he pushes up on Anya and pretty much introduces himself, and she was receptive, and he had that look. That was the end of the episode. So a decent episode. There's one episode left until the break, and of course the next half of the season doesn't pick up until September. So a decent episode. I just had those two peeves. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Till next time.